Hello everyone and welcome to Hexcells Solver. Today we are working on puzzle number 6. So let's go ahead and get this thing generated and see what we're up against. Alright, a pretty large puzzle, 63 bombs within this puzzle. Right off the bat I do see a few clues that may be able to help to start. First of which was this 3 with the dashes, meaning that there are 3 bombs connected to this 3, but they cannot be consecutive. So since there is already 2 out on here, this one in the middle cannot be a bomb, otherwise it would break that rule. The other thing I saw was this 5 stacked on top of a 5. So this 5 on top says that there is 5 bombs within this column, of which this 5 underneath says there is 5 bombs that are underneath here. So we know that this cell right here cannot actually contain a bomb. And I'm actually going to close out that clue just to keep things nice and neat. The last thing I saw was this 1, which does have a bomb within it. So this column of 1, we can actually go ahead and open up every single cell. Alright, let's close that out. And with that, we can solve this 2 now, because it only has 2 cells touching it. This 3 with the dashes only has 3 cells touching it. Let's see if there's anything else that we can do right away here. Nothing that I'm really seeing that jumps out to me. This 2 at the dash means that there's got to be 1 bomb on the left-hand side here and 1 bomb on the right-hand side here. But I'm not really seeing any other clues that would point out where that may be. Okay, the only other clue that I'm seeing here is this 2 with the brackets, meaning that both of the bombs in the cells that are touching this 2 need to be consecutive. So it's either these 2 or it's these 2. Now, if it were these 2 that had the bombs in them, the cells on this side, these 2, would actually be open, which would leave 1, 2, 3 cells in this column that would have bombs, which would solve this 3 except for those dashes. Those 3 cannot be consecutive. And so with that, we know that this 2 with the brackets needs to be on the left-hand side here, which we can open up the right-hand side. And with this 3 with the dashes, we know that 1, 2, the third one cannot be consecutive. So we can open up that space there. Now, that did not really help us all that much. We got a bunch of question marks on the right-hand side, which does not help us whatsoever. And we got a 2 here that's already connected to 1, so we know there's a bomb in one of these 3 spaces, but there's no real other clues that help us out here. And so let me take a look here. There's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shoot. The 6 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cells within it. The 7 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cells within it. But there's nothing really around any of those that could help us out. So let's look at the 6 and the 7 here. Since they are close together and there is some overlap, I wonder if that'll show us a clue of where we need to go next. So looking at the 6 flower, it already has 1, 2, 3 bombs within it, meaning that the remaining 3 bombs need to be within this series of 5 cells. Now the 7 also has 1, 2, 3 bombs within it, and if we do an overlap with the 6, remember that there's 3 bombs within this series of 5 cells. So this 7 would have 1, 2, 3, and implied 4, 5, 6 within these 5 cells, meaning that there's 1 bomb in this non-overlap area, but we don't know where it is exactly. However, what we can do, and I'm going to do a little bit of trial and error here, because with this 2 with the dashes, we know that 1 bomb needs to be on the left side and 1 bomb needs to be on the right side. Both bombs cannot be on the same side, as they would be consecutive, which would break the rule of this 2 with the dashes. So let me go ahead and pull out my handy dandy drawing tool, and we'll kind of do a little trial and error. So let's start on the left side here. If this cell were to be a bomb, I'm going to mark that and designate that as an X. This cell here could not be a bomb. And because of that, looking at this 2 here, with the 1 underneath it, only one of these cells would have to be a bomb, and this would have to be a bomb. So with that, we know one of these 2 cells would have to be a bomb. This could not be a bomb. And this 2 with the dashes would be satisfied, so that could not be a bomb. So we'll just designate this as either an X with a dash or a dash with an X. So this 2 would have 1 bomb here, and we don't know which order those 2 would go in. This 2 would have a space here, so a bomb could go either there or there. And I think that's as far as we can get with that logic. Now let's switch the color and kind of start over and see if doing it the other way would give us any inclination on where we can go next. So we started with this top left box here and said if that were a bomb, let's say now if that were not a bomb, that would make this cell a bomb. And remember that clue with the 7, because there's 1, 2, 3, and then it implied 3 more bombs within this overlapping area. Remember, there's 1 bomb in this non-overlapping area, and so if that were here, this could not be a bomb, this could not be a bomb, and this could not be a bomb. So with that, this 2 with the dashes, if that were a bomb, this would have to be a bomb, which solves for this 2, which would be both minuses there. This 1, since both of those would be open, the bomb would have to be here. This 2 would then also be solved, and the logic can go a little further, but I guess there would be a bomb here as well to solve for this 3. However, that is a lot of logic that a lot of stuff we don't need, but there is some good stuff here, and particularly I am looking at this cell here and this cell here. So in either case, whether they be a bomb or not a bomb in this top left corner, these 2 cells would not change. There would be no bomb in this top cell and a bomb in this bottom cell. The rest of which, it could go either way, but let's input those into the puzzle and see exactly where it takes us. Alright, so this top cell was not a bomb, and this bottom cell had to be a bomb. So let's close out the 6 and 7 for now, because we got a 4 with only 4 cells touching it. Kind of a similar rule with this 2. This 2 here, we know that the bombs cannot be consecutive. So a bomb cannot go here, meaning that to satisfy this 2, 1 more bomb would need to be up on top here. And that opens up another 2, which is satisfied. And we get a 0. God, I love the zeros. Cool, so nice and easy, and we actually did make some progress here. Now, this 2 here already has 1 bomb touching it, meaning that there's 1 more bomb out of these 4 cells. But with this 2 here, if let's say a bomb were here or here, these 2 cells would be open, and this 2 would only have 1 touching it. So we know that this cannot be a bomb, and this cannot be a bomb, meaning that only 1 of these 2 contains a bomb, and the other needs to go over here for this 2. And under here, this 1 opened up, which is touching a bomb, so that is satisfied. And look at that, we can already solve for this 2 and this 2. Beautiful. Alright, let's look at the 6th flower here, now that we've opened up a few of these cells. Okay, so it already has 1 bomb there, which means that there's 5 more bombs in this bottom half here. Now, let's use that in conjunction with this column of 7. So remember the 7 had, I believe it was 9, let's count it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cells within it, meaning that 2 of these cells within that column need to be blanks. And looking at this 2 here, since it's already touching 1, one of these cells contains a bomb, and one of these cells is one of the two blanks within this column of 7. And the same logic can be applied to this side here. And so one of these two cells needs to be a bomb. If it weren't, and a bomb were to be in this cell here, that would leave 1, 2, and an implied 3 cells open within this column of 7, which would make 1, 2, 3. This would be open, open, 4, 5, 6 bombs for this column of 7, which does not satisfy it. So we can actually go ahead and open up this cell, as a bomb needs to be in one of these two. So now in this column of 6, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to satisfy that 6th flower. And in doing so, we actually solved this column of 3. So we can go ahead and open the rest of the tiles there. We get a 3 on the bottom here with only 3 cells touching it, which also solves this column of 1. So we can go ahead and open all of those cells as well and close out that clue. And in doing so, we get a 4 with only 4 cells touching it, and we also get a 2 with only 2 cells touching it. This 3 now is solvable since it only has 3 cells that surround it. And look at that, this 2 is now solved, and we get a 4 that has 4 bombs touching it, so this cannot be a bomb. This 2 here needs to have a bomb there, and this 7 column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is now solved. And I do believe the 6th flower, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is solved as well. This 2 cell has 2 touching it already, so we can open up those and we get some more question marks. Shoot. Alright, now I'm not seeing any other clues that are an inclination of, or easy solves, so it looks like we're back to using logic once again. And let's look at this column with 6. So there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cells within this column of 6. That means that 2 cells need to be blank, and the other cells have bombs in them. Now, with this 2 at the dash, kind of the same logic we've been using throughout the puzzle, we know that there has to be 1 bomb between these 2 cells on top, and 1 bomb between these 2 cells on the bottom. And the other space within these would be a blank space. So with this column of 6, since we needed 2 blank spaces, one of which we already know is right here, meaning that there is 1 more blank space throughout this whole column. Now I'm going to bring out my handy dandy writing tool once again, and let's do a little trial and error. And what I'm kind of seeing here is if we were to put a bomb here, this would not be a bomb. This 2 would have 2 bombs touching it, so both this and this would not be bombs. This 2 would have 2 bombs touching it, and so this would not be a bomb, and this would not be a bomb. And you may be able to see where I'm going with this already. Remember, with this column of 6, only 2 cells could be open. Right here is 2 already, and we had an implied, this could be either a bomb or closed, and this one could be either closed or a bomb. So you'd have 1, 2, 3 cells open, and only 1, an implied 2, 3, 4, 5 bombs could go in this column. And so if we go back to the starting clue, which was a bomb in this cell, that cannot be a bomb. So we know that that is actually open, and this one on top would then need to be a bomb. So let's go ahead and enter that into our puzzle. So this cell right here cannot be a bomb, which would mean 1, 2, and 3. This cell would have to be a bomb, which solves this 3 here. Now, with that, we do get some more clues that are already solved. This 2 has 2 bombs touching it, so we can open up both of those. This 2 only has 2 cells touching it, so we know that has to be a bomb. This one is satisfied. This one is satisfied. We get a 3 with a dash, with only 4 cells around it, so with that, we know that this has to be a bomb, and this has to be a bomb, and one of these will need to be a bomb. If both of these were bombs, it'd be 3 in a row, which would break that rule there. This 3 only has 3 cells touching it, so we know that that is a bomb. And this 1 now, because that was a bomb, is satisfied. This 2 is now satisfied. And let's look back at this column of 6. So we have 1, an implied 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bombs. Actually, let's not look at that yet. I am seeing that this 2 is satisfied. We can open up both of those, which actually does help kind of back where we started with the 6 and the 7. We know one of these 2 needs to be a bomb because of this 1, meaning that this 2 already has 1, and one of these would be a bomb, meaning that this cannot be a bomb. So that is open, and this 2 with the dash is now solvable there. Beautiful. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look at this 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells within that column, all of which need to be bombs. So we can close out that clue, which does help now with this this column of 6, because this 2 is now solved, and we know that that has to be open. We get a 4 with only 4 cells touching it, and now with this column of 6, we know that 1, 2, 3, 4, an implied 5, and 6 all need to be bombs. So one of these is a bomb, and one of these is open there. This 2 is now solved. We get another question mark, which is fine. There's not any other cells around it. And let's see here. Let's take a look at this 6 up here. So it already has 1 bomb in it. An implied 2 has to be in either of these. And because of this column with the 4, only one of these 3 cells can be a bomb. So one of these 3 needs to be a bomb to make 2, an implied 3, and there's only 3 cells remaining, so 4, 5, and 6. Now with that, this 2 with the dashes, since this was bomb, this cannot be a bomb, so let's go ahead and open that one up. And we get a 2 with only 2 cells touching it. This column with the 3 and the dashes is solved now. We can go ahead and close that out. This 2 with the dashes surrounded by 3 means that the outsides need to be bombs, which opens up the middle. This 4 is already satisfied. And this 3, 1, 2, and this needs to be a bomb here, which means that this 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is satisfied. We get a 3 that has 3 bombs touching it. Can open up that, and this needs to be a bomb here to satisfy this 2, as well as this column of 6. So this column of 6 is complete. This flower of 6 is complete. This 4 with the dashes is now complete. And this whole top right corner is pretty much done, which is awesome. All right, let's take a look here and see what else that we can do. So looking in the middle here, this 2 is already satisfied. We can open up that cell there, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 to satisfy this 4. Now let's look at this 8 column. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 cells that are already marked as bombs, meaning that this cannot be a bomb. We can close out that clue there. We get a 3 down here with only 3 cells touching it. All right, cool. So now we're making some progress, which is awesome. Let's take a look here. This cell, this 2, already has 2 bombs touching it, so we can solve for that. And of course, we get a question mark. Alright, let's take a look at this 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bombs already in it, meaning that there's 2 more bombs in the rest of this column, but I'm not seeing really where we can solve for that quite yet. Let's look at this interaction between the 5 and the 6 here. So the 6 already has 1, 2, 3 bombs within it, meaning that there are 3 remaining bombs within this pack of 6 within that flower. this 5 also has 1, 2, 3 bombs already in there. An implied 4 need to be in either this or this. Man, there's one more bomb outside of here. Now if we do an overlap here, remember with the 6 it's 1, 2, 3. There needs to be 3 bombs within this pack of 6, and this 5 already has 1, 2, 3, and so it only needs 2 more bombs. So with this 6, remember there's 3 bombs that need to go into these 6 spaces, of which only 2 can be within this overlap. Otherwise this 5 would be overly satisfied. So we know that this has to be a bomb, and the remaining 2 to satisfy the 5 and the 6 need to be in this overlapped area. And so we can actually go ahead and open up these 2 cells that are outside of that overlap between the 5 and the 6. Now let's see how that helps us here. This 2 is now solved. We get a 4. That doesn't really help us all that much. This 3 with the dashes can now be solved, as there are only 3 cells touching it. This 3 is solved. This 3 only has 3 touching it. This 3 only has 3 cells touching it. And so now, if we open this 5 back up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this 5 is actually satisfied. We can go ahead and open all of those cells there. Let's take a look at the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is satisfied as well. We can close out that clue. And that opened up a 2 here, which has 2 bombs touching it. We can open up both of those. Revealing a 3, which only has 3 cells touching it. So we can mark both of those, and this 3 is now solved as it has 3 bombs touching it, so we can open up this one. Let's look back at this 8 here. It had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, meaning that this is either a bomb or this is either a bomb, but we actually can't figure out where those go quite yet. However, this 4 here, since it has 3 bombs already touching it, we know the 4th needs to be in either one of these 2 cells. And if that were the case, looking at this clue with the 2, we know that there is 1 bomb here, the other bomb needs to be up here, in either one of these 2 cells, which would actually satisfy this 3 as well. And so with that, we can actually open up this top left corner cell, because we know a bomb cannot go there, which opens up a 2 with only 2 cells touching it, which satisfies this 3 here. We get another 3. Okay. Let's see here. This 4 only has 4 cells touching it now as well. This 4 with the dashes, it already has 1, 2, and 3 bombs touching it, but the dashes means that they cannot be consecutive. And so this cell here cannot be a bomb. That needs to be open. Otherwise, it would break that non-consecutive rule there. With that, we can actually solve for this 3 now, so there are only 3 cells touching it. And this 2 and this 4 are now solved here, meaning that we can solve this 8 here too, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This must be a bomb. Alright, so we have 3 bombs remaining throughout this whole puzzle. Let's see. We know 1 can go here, 1 can go here, and 1 can go here, but that's all the real clues we have for those. Let's take a look at the 6, 7, and 8 flowers. So the 6 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bombs already in it, meaning that one of these 3 cells needs to have a bomb. Let's take a look at the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's got the same overlap, so one of these 3 cells needs to be a bomb. Let's take a look at this 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bombs already in it, and because of this clue with the 6 and the 7, we know that one of these 3 cells has a bomb in it, meaning that this cell that is not within this overlap here with the 6 and the 7 cannot be a bomb. So let's go ahead and open that up, which we can then solve for this 4. 1, 2, 3, this must be a bomb. We can solve for this 3 as well. 1, 2, and 3. And because we were able to mark that 1 bomb there, we know that these 2 cannot be bombs. which closes out this 6 flower, closes out this 7 flower, and closes out this 8 flower. Now, looking at this puzzle, we only have one bomb remaining. This doesn't have any clues around it. This doesn't have any clues around it. This has no clues around it. The only area that has a clue around it is right here, and it's this 2 with the dashes, which already has one bomb touching it, so we know that the last remaining bomb needs to be in either one of these 2 cells. So we can go ahead and actually open up all the other cells within the puzzle, and of course it gives us our final clue here, this 3, 1, 2, and the last bomb must be here to satisfy this 3 and this 2 with the dashes. And there you have it. Puzzle number 6, a little tricky, a lot of logic in there, but definitely completable. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.